Unexpected bombshell. Manchester United is ready to sign this soccer star. Bellingham could arrive at Old Trafford at any moment. Leave your like, share, and let's go. To say that Jude Bellingham's time at Borussia Dortmund has not gone according to plan would be a massive understatement. The 20-year-old midfielder arrived in Germany amid excitement and expectation, hoping to follow in the footsteps of his older brother Jude Bellingham, whose own success story at Dortmund and later Real Madrid became one of the most inspiring trajectories in recent European football. But just a few months into his Bundesliga adventure, Jude finds himself facing frustration, limited playing time, and growing uncertainty about his role at the club, and reports now suggest that Manchester United could be preparing to offer him a way out. Back in June 2025, Bellingham completed a £30.2 million transfer from Sunderland to Borussia Dortmund, leaving behind an emotional chapter at the Stadium of Light. His performances in the Championship had been crucial to Sunderland's promotion through the playoffs, with the young midfielder earning praise for his maturity, composure, and ability to dictate the rhythm of games far beyond his years. Premier League clubs, including Crystal Palace and West Ham United, were circling, yet Jude chose the more challenging and strategic path, heading abroad, just as Jude had done 4 years earlier. Dortmund's reputation for developing young stars like Erling Haaland, Jadon Sancho, and Jude Bellingham himself made the move seem like the perfect next step. However, 2 months into his Bundesliga career, things have not unfolded as Jude or Dortmund envisioned. While he has featured in every league matchday so far, his actual time on the pitch has been limited. His last start came all the way back in August, and since then, he has mostly been confined to cameo appearances off the bench. For a player who is used to being a guaranteed starter at Sunderland, often the heartbeat of their midfield, the transition has been difficult to accept. Bellingham made his full debut on the opening day of the season against St. Pauli, a game that ended in a chaotic 3-3 draw. He was substituted at halftime, replaced by Felix Nneka after what many observers described as an uneven first-half performance. What followed caused headlines far beyond the pitch. According to ESPN, Jude's father, Mark Bellingham, was seen waiting outside the locker room area after the match, reportedly demanding an explanation from Sebastian Kehl, Dortmund's sporting director, over why his son had been taken off. The club swiftly reminded all parties that the dressing room entrance is strictly off-limits to players' relatives, emphasizing professionalism and privacy. That moment, while small in isolation, highlighted the tension and pressure surrounding Jude's adaptation. Dortmund quickly moved to calm the situation, insisting that they remained fully supportive of the young Englishman and confident in his long-term potential. He started again the following week against Union Berlin, playing 71 minutes, his longest appearance of the season to date. But since then, he has seen his role diminish. Across the last 4 league games, Bellingham has totaled just 71 minutes on the pitch, a reflection of his struggle to break into a starting lineup filled with competition and tactical experimentation. For Jude, this situation is deeply frustrating. At Sunderland, he was one of the main creative engines, commanding possession, driving transitions, and showing a flair that made him stand out even among seasoned professionals. At Dortmund, however, he has been tasked with adapting to a faster tempo, stricter tactical demands, and a level of scrutiny he has never faced before. The Bundesliga is a proving ground, but it can also be unforgiving for young players who fail to immediately adapt to the system. Behind the scenes, there is said to be growing concern within the Bellingham camp. Jude's desire to establish himself at the top level is matched by a clear ambition to earn a call-up to the England senior national team before the 2026 World Cup. He has been a regular for the England U21s, but breaking into Gareth Southgate's senior setup will require regular minutes at club level, something that currently feels out of reach at Dortmund. This is where Manchester United enter the picture. According to Team Talk, the Premier League giants are monitoring Jude's situation closely and could move for him as early as January 2026. United have reportedly maintained long-standing interest in both Bellingham brothers. While Jude famously rejected a move to Old Trafford in 2020 to join Dortmund, there is growing belief that the younger Bellingham could be tempted by the chance to write his own story in Manchester. United's recruitment strategy under Sir Jim Ratcliffe and sporting director Jason Wilcox has placed strong emphasis on signing young, technically gifted, homegrown players with long-term upside. In that sense, Jude perfectly fits the mold. The club is keen to add depth and versatility in midfield, especially as veterans like Christian Eriksen and Casemiro approach the final stages of their United careers. Bellingham, who can operate as both a box-to-box midfielder and an attacking playmaker, would bring dynamism and intelligence to United's evolving squad. For Job, a return to England could also represent a crucial reset. Having experienced the tactical education of German football, he could return to the Premier League as a more refined, disciplined, and mature player, much like his brother did before joining Real Madrid. Old Trafford, with its blend of youth and experience, could offer him the platform to rebuild confidence and resume his trajectory toward the elite level that many have long predicted for him. From Dortmund's perspective, the situation is delicate. The club still sees Job as a long-term project and has no immediate plans to part ways. Head coach Edin Terzic and sporting director Kell have both publicly defended the midfielder, urging patience and insisting that adaptation takes time. The German side's structure, after all, has always been built around gradual development, nurturing players in a competitive environment rather than throwing them into the deep end. Yet with mounting frustration from the players' camp and external interest from one of the world's biggest clubs, Dortmund could face a tough decision if United table a substantial offer. Meanwhile, analysts have pointed out the emotional element at play. For Job, living under the shadow of his brother Jude's meteoric rise is not easy. Every performance, every substitution, every public appearance is inevitably compared to Jude's path, his rapid rise from Birmingham City to Dortmund, his dominance in the Bundesliga, and his stardom at Real Madrid. While Job has consistently tried to carve out his own identity, the parallels are impossible to escape, especially now that he finds himself struggling in the same environment where Jude once thrived. The coming months will be critical. If Job continues to be limited to short appearances, a loan move or permanent transfer could be on the horizon. Manchester United's interest may not be the only one. Sources suggest that Newcastle United and Aston Villa are also keeping tabs on his progress. However, United's global stature and the emotional pull of becoming part of the same club that once coveted his brother could make them the front runners. Ultimately, Job Bellingham's story at Dortmund serves as a reminder of how unpredictable football careers can be. A move that seemed perfect on paper has so far produced frustration and doubt. Yet, the young midfielder still has time and the talent to turn things around. Whether that redemption comes in Germany or in the Premier League remains to be seen. What's clear, however, is that the next chapter in the Bellingham saga is already being written, and this time, it might unfold under the bright lights of Old Trafford rather than the famous yellow wall of Signal Iduna Park. Let us know in the comments if you think Job Bellingham's arrival at Manchester United would be beneficial for the team. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.